Hello. So early morning live stream. I didn't like I just let it do a default title. So I don't know. But it's basically early morning or for me not early morning. It's late afternoon, but I've been up I've been up all night pretty much. So uh, for me, um, I have no idea what day it is or what time. So yeah, no, it's afternoon, not early morning. It's afternoon stream, but I've been doing a little bit of a little more work on the Ark, so it's a little spoiler. Here we go. Check it out. Uh, I'm just using the camera today. I'm not doing like screen share or anything. But yeah, I think you can see it. So there's some fighter jets, and I don't know if I'm pretty sure you can see it. But yeah, there's some there's all these fighter jets. So there's different squadrons, but you know what I mean. And so whole fleets come out like basically like I don't know if I'll have time to write about every single squadron, but I do know that I do know a couple squadrons. I'll probably at least just to demonstrate life on the Ark as like fighter pilots. I'll probably do stories about some of the pilots and they have like they have under or basically yeah, so or they all come out of here, so I'm gonna they're gonna recede into the background until there's just like little dots, little tiny dots of little in staggered formations coming out of here. The ship is huge, basically. So uh, this is just me messing around on newsprint. Like I just sketched this out. I've been thinking hard about it, and I'm detailing it up. Trying to show it on the camera, I can't. There we go. Yeah, it's like opposite. So there it is. Yeah, there you go. I can see a little better now. So I'm working on that right now, and so because I'm basically getting to know their ship and everything. Like this could basically be a double page layout because I think the first episode. Well, I don't want like okay, like I was gonna talk about how in the first issue. So it's going to be volume one, and I think it's going to be called something like emerging volume one, like or something like that, like emerging or something like that, or black or uh, what was the other? I can't remember the exact title, but it was something emerging. Uh, and then and it basically is going to end with here let me try to get it a little more zeroed in. So basically um oh, that's another thing. I have another page. Check this page out. Find the other page I'm working. other page. But here's we're working on the logo for Archangels, basically. It's really big. It's just a quick. I did this sketch very quickly, but yeah, there's that. And now check out the page of the hall. Yeah, what was it? Up here it is, right here. I got it. I got it. I was like, oh man, I hope I didn't put it away. So here's the ship. Here's like them in the hole. This is like kind of detailed, uh, and it's the three of them talking. Kind of. So like um, you can basically see the three of them are having a conversation, and this is what their suits look like. This is like their spandex superhero suits, I guess, as you would put it, which are white with gold strip, like uh um stripping. You know what I mean? Like gold stripping. And the under officers, like the ones that pilot the ships and stuff, they have fights with mechs and giant creatures and all this stuff. But basically, like the under officers have white and then another color. You know what I mean? Like blue or red or what, something like that. Maybe it'll represent their squadron or something like that. But basically, this is their armor. Their armor is just straight white with gold lacing, and they got white boots and white gloves with gold lacing. So yeah, I haven't started inking this yet because it's got to be fully penciled out. But you can see the computer consoles and the kind of Jack Kirby. This right here in the middle is there's a tri-helm where the three of them sit, and and basically he commands it. He pilots the ship, and he runs like weapons and shields and stuff like that. And oh man, I've been thinking about the dude with the water armor. Like, okay, so you got basically. Yeah, the dude with the water armor is his armor's sick, man. Like some of the it has some such. There's gonna be some gore. There's gonna be blood, some gore, and some crazy, killing scenes that you guys are gonna see. But yeah, he's brutal. He's brutal, man. He can like fill up a room with water. I was thinking, and even with a and just drown people. It's gonna be sick, man. It's gonna be sick. You're gonna see some crazy stuff. That was kind of a spoiler, but whatever. Get ready. But here's their helm, and then this is there's it's just like all kinds of shapes, and I'm gonna do some like design like Jack Kirby stuff with you know uh like maybe some tubes with like light, like lightning looking light in the tubes going off, into different directions from the top of this thing. You know what I mean? Like, cause like, just, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna explain how everything works. Like I have it all, this is just, it's kind of like sci-fi fantasy or something, you know what I mean? But anyway, check it out. So there's the three of them having a conversation. And I had the storyline. I started action. I was like, I got to script it out. So I've started. I have it script out in the first page. He's basically explaining. He's basically explaining to you know these two how has a feeling. He's like, this is basically just the first step in what is probably going to start a long war. Like, and he's like, and in the last few missions, basically, he's saying like we're a cake and went really well, and he's like, but he's like, and then and so the so basically, I don't want to get into it fully, but this guy, he's like half Asian, I think, or something. I haven't fully gotten into his background, but he's just kind of like, so what are you saying, and the commander's basically like, well, we've been basically starving the enemy of they're cutting off their human trafficking because they feed off people literally, like there's like fucking monsters running everything. And it gets crazy, like like what you would consider ancient alien stuff, but I'm just gonna say it's the Bible, and some of them feed off of our psyche, like the main enemy that I'm starting out writing about, which is the that giant insect queen deep under the earth. She's like psionic, and she's making us all fight and kill each other up here, basically, as best she can. And there's like, I'll get into it, man. It gets crazy. So like, I don't want to give it away completely. Basically, Nephilim. So basically, this dude who's pretty intuitive right here, this big ass dude is just kind of like, well, he's like, he's basically already been thinking about it too. So he's basically, yeah, what you're saying is the enemy's probably going to strike back soon. And so basically, they're having like a really deep conversation about that. And he's just like, yeah, he's like, exactly. So they sure enough, like they basically um so it'll be a couple pages of them doing their thing after the first battle in the opening scene, and then basically they go to sleep, and they're heading back. They're just cruising, you know what I mean, like back to their main headquarters, whatever city I pick. uh, or maybe I'll make a new city or something that, however I figure. I don't know how deep I won't have to get it, unless we'll see how the first volume or the first issue of the first volume goes, and if people really like it, you know what I mean. Um, then basically, uh, that's just so cool looking, man. Look at that. So. Like a giant ship. You know what I'm saying? It's like a giant. That thing is huge. Whole fleets of these things are coming out of it, basically. So, so in that big window, in this big window right here, is where they are. In here, so you'll see like the moon and the clouds and all this, and then it's like 1 point perspective, and they're standing between these like computers right here, and their armor's deactivated, and they're all gonna have archangels on their uniforms, big gold ones. Dude, it's gonna be cool, man. It's gonna be tight. And they have like they're basically, it's kind of like the arc of it's like, the arc in Noah's times. It's just sort of a parody, or not a par. I don't know. Parody would be comical, I guess, but it's kind of like a reflection of some Old Testament biblical stuff, for entertainment purposes. And so the reason it's the Ark is because they have everything they need for humanity to continue on this ship. And I'll get into like all the, I'll how they get it all. But and how they and the storyline or the story when they like they form a team and go down into the earth and like steal all this stuff, dude. It's gonna be cool, man. So basically, yeah, and um, so basically, yeah, they fall asleep. They go to sleep. They're cruising back, and they're cruising back to like their main headquarters, and then basically, it's basically post-apocalyptic Earth, and 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 certain, the government, basically the power, the powers that be that were running everything, they all went underground, of course, and most of humanity gets decimated. But people pull through, and so basically, and some people had access to military stuff like these guys. So because he was basically leading the militias, he just becomes like the next George Washington. This guy right here. So so basically everybody's following him now, like the rebel forces. It's pretty crazy. So basically, like it's a pretty deep storyline, man. And so yeah, I'm just showing you some spoilers of what this page is pretty much penciled. I just got to do all these crazy designs, like circuits and everything, and the computers behind them. You know what I mean? And and not smear it all over the page. I have to keep using I'm lightly penciling it all in, then I have to keep using this thing and like dabbing it all and getting the excess pencils off of it. The So anyway, I'm just hanging out, having a good time. I'm gonna be doing some inking today. It's gonna be cool. I have a lot, and I've also started working on the snake eyes for somebody requested a snake eyes. I don't know if you're watching, but I got the snake eyes piece, like I did this Wolverine piece right here. If you haven't seen it, I made copies of it because people really like it. It's all my winter gear. Winter's disappearing though. I looked at the 10-day forecast and it's going to be in the high 30s and like 40s. And the west side of the country looks like they're in trouble for a little while, but even by the time, if even if all that started to head over this way, if we have 10 days of um good weather, it'll be well into March, and April will be right around the corner. So yeah, we could still get like uh you know um we could still end up getting some winter, between, basically you could still get snow in April around here, but it won't last long. You know what I mean? It'll just turn into slush and rain. So basically, it looks like we're mostly out of the out of the woods up here in the where I'm at. Basically, I'm you know, unless you're up in like Maine. I'm in the Northeast, but I'm not way up Northeast. Unless you're up in like northern Vermont and all that area, way up in northern New York. Uh, it's right down here. It's like smooth sailing for like the next. It's gonna be a little cold at night, but during the day, man, it's gonna be high 30s and 40s around here. So I'm like, yeah. But anyway, I did this. I did this Wolverine, and I made copies because people really like it. And I shipped out the original just as I said I would, and I paid for the shipping and everything. So I'm not asking you for money. I'm just doing this to promote my channel. Anybody want me to draw something for them? It's a limited time offer. But I'm keeping my friends really like them. Like my friend's father, one of my friend's father, an older guy like me, was he I think he still has a lot of comic books. So when my friend saw this, he was just like, "Oh man, that's awesome." He said, "I would literally pay you to do something like that for my father." I was like, "That's cool." So I made copies and I gave him one for his father. He was psyched. But yeah, so I made some copies of the original, but I sent the original out to Arlene, and I hope it gets to you safe. Yeah, I paid for shipping and everything. I can't do it forever because I have my own work to do. Like I started penciling out, like I was thinking the snake eyes is gonna be kind of like this. So I'll show you the snake eyes pose. Here, I'll do it right now on air. I'll draw the snake eyes pose on air right now that I'm thinking about doing. So it's gonna be upside down at first. Got a little bit sharper pencil. I'll do a loose. I can do it. I think actually no. I want the legs a little more. Yeah, something like this. And then like I don't know how to. I don't know if I'm hoping I can get this. So he's like, and the sword like coming down like right at you, something like that. That's wicked rough fast, but I gotta do definitely better foreshortening. So here, let me. That was just the first attempt. Oh, it's pretty horrible. This was me messing around, but let me try to work it out a little better. So this is just junk paper, so I really don't care. It's got to be foreshortened better. So let me start. I'm having fun today anyway. I might as well just mess around. Good, because I gotta do this anyway. Just messing with the shapes right now, you know what I mean? Of like cylinders. This is how you just constructing a frame. And then putting the fists on the sword there, you know what I mean? So there's that. I'm just changing the I was looking up snake eyes and like all there we go. That's better. And all the like the action figures were coming up. There we go. So you know what I mean? He's just like coming down on someone with like full force with the blade, like just shooting the sword. You know what I mean? Crazy. So yeah, you get the point. You know what I mean? Sorry, I have to be able to look. I have to pull that into my you know, you get the point. Do something crazy like this. But yeah, you get the point. Something crazy like this. I gotta work on it more, but yeah, something like that. Get the hood maybe more. There we go. Something like that. You know what I mean? Snake eyes, like really big, coming at you. Here, put it back. I'll put it the right way now. I'm thinking about something like that for the snake eyes. I'm gonna be doing a giveaway of snake eyes, the Wolverine. Picture that, him in his armor right there, you know what I'm saying? The sword just coming right down. So that's what I'm gonna do for something like that. I think for the snake eyes. I think because there's a lot of, you can look up. There's a lot of already done poses. I haven't seen like I haven't seen one like that of him like coming down out of the sky, like yeah, like wachai, like he's just gonna put his sword right through someone's, you know, right through someone's skull or something crazy. So you know what I mean? Like he's just gonna assassinate somebody. I was watching GI Joe, and it's pretty cool. Like I'll tell you, because doing my research, and it was funny. I was like, maybe I'll catch an episode of Snake Eyes, and I turned it on, and sure enough, there was an episode of Snake Eyes, and I was so fascinated with the storyline, I forgot to even really pay attention to like the details on it, and I was like, oh shit, you know. But that says a lot for the storyline. I was pretty captivated there, and there was some really funny. I'll tell you what, there was some really funny like um, jokes where like the medical guy. I forget what his code name is, but uh, he they basically like beat the hell out of some of Cobra's troops, and uh, they use the medical guy as a decoy, and he's like, "Why didn't you tell me you guys were gonna use me as a decoy for violence?" And they're like, "Cause you would have said no." I was like, "Oh shit!" We didn't want to, take a chance. You would have said no, and he was like, "Don't you guys know that there's other ways of solving problems?" And one of the two GI Joe guys was all like, "Yeah, it's called guns." And I just started laughing because it sounded like me talking. Like, oh, it was pretty hilarious, man. That's what I'm saying. I was captivated. I ended up watching GI Joe there for like about 45 minutes or so, half hour. Pretty funny stuff, man. Pretty funny stuff. And I'm just drinking my coffee, and yeah, I've been drawing away. I have to really get to know the arc, and there's going to be the archangel symbol on the side with the arc. It's going to be tight. I'm drawing a fairly detailed version of now, like up close. And I showed that already, but just trying to get this stuff up together and out of the way, so it don't get. I don't want Yeah, I've been basically doing my research on, and I'm thinking of some other. Nobody watching wants a free drawing, like the Wolverine here. Nobody wants a free drawing of their favorite hero. Limited time. I'll do it for like. I'll just keep offering for like another week or two. So far, I have to do the Snake Eyes one art giveaway, and yeah, I'll do that for another week or two. I'll offer to do free drawings for people, of your favorite superhero because I need to practice anyway. You know what I mean? So it's good for me. And only that the Wolverine I did didn't take me that long. It took me like altogether. I mean, I only worked on it in spurts of like a few hours here and there. So, but altogether it would be like one day's work. It took me like 10 hours to pencil and ink that thing uh, altogether. So I would say 4 hours wasted where I was gonna do a city in the background, then decided no, I'm not doing no cities for fan art. It's so I'm just gonna do like a pose, like pinup art of your favorite bad guy or good guy. So I have a request for a lizard man, or well, anything but what I've already drawn for bad guys. So I've never drawn Doctor Octopus. I've never drawn Lizard Man. I've never, I've never really attempted to draw them seriously. I don't think I've ever attempted to draw a Lizard Man. Uh, who else? I mean, generally I've mostly tried to draw good guys, like my all my favorite good guys, like Thor or Wolverine. I'm playing with my eraser. I shouldn't even be doing that. It's kind of sticky. So, uh, but yeah. So I basically mainly only tried to draw like, Spider-Man, Thor, Wolverine, Captain America, Conan. Never really was big into drawing the bad guys, so somebody who knows me, I told him I'm doing free drawing and art giveaways right now, requested a lizard man. So I was like, all right. So I'm doing free drawings are your favorite comic book character. So if you want, just if anybody watching wants one, just tell me what you want right now, and I'll send it to you. I'll pay the shipping. And but mainly I'm working on my uh my comic, which I got to get some inking done on that today. So I'm doing a couple. So I'm doing a couple. I'm doing a new page of like I said the hull of their ship with their uniforms on when their armor is like deactivated, and and yeah, that I'm doing. So I'm gonna work on that for probably a few hours today. Hopefully, I can get it mostly inked. I'll probably come on and show that later when that's done. I think it would be. I think I need something a little. Yeah, that. I think that's kind of. That's a good like and it definitely will be a page in the comic book. So I think it'll be a good representative page to have for my campaign when I launch it. So I want to get that done too. I'll launch it before that's done and just show it later, like add it later. I think you can add art to your campaign once you launch it. So I have to basically clean up and finish cleaning up and altering some of my pages that are already done digitally, and then I have to and I'm inking this new page, but I kind of got set back a little because the people at the copy shop kind of screwed me by scanning my drawings at 150 DPI because I should have checked, I guess, but I just assumed they were 300, and they were not. So I was working on them or I thought those pages were done because they were some of the first pages I went and scanned. And then I was like, nope, I have to change them to 300 DPI and clean them up and make sure they look good. Like I have to go print them and see how they look printed because, man, yeah, that kind of screwed me over. I mean, that was kind of unforeseeable, but whatever. It's gonna set me back a little while, but I'm taking my time because the pages just keep getting better and better. So when I launch it, it's gonna look really cool because now it's getting the whole idea is getting more conceptualized in my head. Another thing I was watching was Robotech, which was pretty cool because I have to try to find as much free stuff as possible, and I forget which channel I have that's free. Uh, um, is was had like some Robotech anime. I think I want to watch the Godzilla anime, but it's subtitles, and I don't know if I want to do much. If it's good enough, maybe I can bear it. But yeah, the Robotech was kind of cool, and so I basically I'm just looking for stuff for influence for like storylines and stuff like that, and and um, anime has a lot of deep. Like I know, anime has a lot of deep, and manga and stuff like that has a lot of like deep seated storylines and stuff. So because I've always been a big fan like of not all I mean a lot I don't a lot of the anime in my opinion is practically freaking kiddie porn. You know what I mean? Which is some bullshit. You know what I mean? I don't like all that nonsense, but the some of the good anime that I always liked was basically like Ghost in the Shell, which is like a really deep storyline about like a dude hacking into people's minds, you know what I mean? Like, and making them commit crime, like terrorist acts against and kill, it was, yeah, so, or like assassinate people or whatever he was doing. I haven't watched it in so long. But, just stuff like that. Blade Runner, too, like a lot of deep sci fi. Um, this is a bit like, a lot of those it's gonna like this comic book I'm working on, I'm just gonna do one volume of it and see how it goes. I'm not saying I don't uh I don't know like I don't want to I don't want to project out like into be like, oh, it's gonna be this giant saga because it's just me doing this. So like uh it'll be like volume one. It's probably going to be like 30 something pages. I have to script it out fully. I really should just script it completely out. And, which is what I've started doing. I wrote out the first page, like completely wrote it out. Like I already have like I wrote it out and I wrote out the first page in like, I don't know, like 10, like 15 or 20 seconds basically. You know what I mean? Maybe a minute at the most, basically, because I already have a general idea of where I'm heading with things, and I don't keep things cemented because I'm constantly doing research on a lot of this like crazy stuff that I'm talking about, like ancient legends and history and other explanations other than evolution for like the existence of humans and all this stuff. So and I'm always like finding like weird pieces of the little puzzle of because like a lot of this comic book reflects like my general search for like truth about, what's going on, which is, I guess, kind of like what Star Trek would could possibly be about, almost, you know what I mean, and things to that of that nature, like storylines of that nature. Mine has just a completely different angle than anything that the mainstream media has done. So, it'd be more like, some Western version of like anime, like Robotech or something crazy like that. So, and I gotta draw the uniforms. Like they all have crazy. Like if you're in their fleet, you know what I mean. You have armor, and your armor is basically like I don't. I'll get more into it, but so I have to draw out the like uniforms and the armor that that their like fleet their soldiers have. It's gonna be pretty cool, and yeah, they basically they're the ship itself is basically containing like the remnants of humanity because everything's basically destroyed. So you know what I mean? There's like they're like they're they're starting like a small civilization like inside the ship itself. It's pretty cool, and the technology inside the ship is crazy. Like the ship can be doing like all whatever, flipping around, flying around, doesn't matter. Uh, um, uh, basically everything inside is contained perfectly within there, so gravity is always relatively down when you're inside the ship, even if it's like upside down, flying around and stuff like that. And just that's the type of like it's like gravitic technology and stuff like that, and so it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. And basically I think I'm gonna have like a small city, you know what I mean, within the ship. So like if you're on the Ark, it's not like so much you live on a ship, like, the ship is huge, you know what I mean? It's like a mothership, you know what I mean? So there's like a city, like to a human, you're like an ant on this thing, you know what I'm saying? There, and it's like high tech. It's pretty cool. And they basically live in peace inside the Ark, but not everybody's on the Ark. So there's like not just anybody's allowed on the Ark. That's what I'm trying. It's pretty. It's a pretty cool storyline. I see. Um, I've been going about almost a half an hour now. So I'm just kind of doing a little spoiler on some of the work I'm working on right now. Or no, yeah, or more than that. I've been almost going an hour now. All right, I'm gonna end the stream right here. Thanks for watching. Until next time, this is Kingdom Comics.